Hi, today episode, I just wanted to talk about the power of questions because of the coronavirus. I know that a lot of people are living in fear, nervous, not sure what's going to happen, in the near future. So I thought that I would come out with this episode, and thanks to, Tony Robbins, he always said that, ask the right question, get the right answer. If you ask lousy question, you'll get lousy answer. Even John Maxwell have said that before too, great leader asks, great questions. So you need to really learn how to ask good questions. If not, your brain will give you a really bad answer. So the power of question, right? Questions direct your focus, help you explore possibility, provide your further resources, challenge your belief, connect you emotionally to a situation, and give you ownership of your action. If you wanted to change the quality of our life, it starts by changing our habitual questions. If you ask a better question, you will come out with a better answer, therefore a better result. That's pretty cool, right? Remember, ask, you shall receive, okay? Ask, you shall receive. If you ask a terrible question, you will get a terrible answer. Your mental computer is always ready to serve you. Whatever question you give it, it will come up with the answer. Imagine what power could you unleash by asking simple and powerful questions. And, there's just a couple exercises. There's questions that you can ask yourself in the morning, and there's questions that you can ask yourself in the evening time so that you feel good, waking up, and also you're feeling good, going to bed, right? So, the following questions are designed to help you experience more happiness, excitement, pride, gratitude, joy, commitment, and love every day of your life. Every morning, come up with 2 or 3 answers to these questions. Fully associate yourself to the answer. If you have difficulty discovering an answer, simply add the word could. For example, what could I be most happy about in my life right now? During coronavirus time, a lot of people was, obviously focusing on, oh man, I'm being quarantined in my house. But, again, for me, right? What could I be most happy about in my life right now? I managed to be able to stay home and hang out with my children without feeling guilty that I have to go out, drive out there, meeting with client face-to-face, one-on-one. This coronavirus really accelerated our technology, and a client are more open, to meet with us on virtual meeting. And what would it be for you? I know that most of us have been, our life is getting busier and busier. And again, think about this as a blessing. It really allow us to really stay home, rethink about what we really want in life, and spend some quality time with the family, since you can't go anywhere, right? So you ready? These are the questions. These are the questions that and also will make great journaling prompt if you inspire to write down your answers too. What am I happy about in my life now? Let me repeat that. What am I happy about in my life now, right? What about that makes me happy? How does that make me feel? What am I excited about in my life now? What about that makes me excited? How does that make me feel? What am I proud about in my life now? What about that make me proud? How does that make me feel? Right? I think these are amazing questions. Sometimes we just forget to count our blessing. And this question, again, is great question, right? What am I, happy about it, what am I happy about in my life right now? I'm really happy that, my heart is still pumping and I'm still breathing and I'm not one of the coronavirus, carrier, right? What about that makes me happy? It allowed me to not transmit that to my children, to people that I love, and especially, my mother and father-in-law who are over 70 years old. How does that make me feel? Very grateful, very happy, very safe, very secured, you know, and you know, really thank God that, you know, we are not you know, one of the people that, you know, got impacted or got affected. And again, my heart go out to everybody that get affected by it, but I know that, you know, life happened life happened for us, not to us. You know, everything happened for a reason. And what are the next sets of questions? What am I grateful about in my life now? What about that makes me grateful? How does that make me feel? What am I enjoying about in my life now? What about that do I enjoy? How does that make me feel good? What am I committed to in my life now? What about that makes me committed? How does that make me feel? Who do I love? Who loves me? Very good. What about that makes me loving? How does that make me feel? It's all about the feeling, because again, you know, if you feel good, you know that your day is going to get better. It's all about the state of our mind, right? It's okay to watch the news to really get educated about what's going on, but make sure that those news doesn't affect your heart, doesn't affect how does that make you feel, right? You know, who do you love, right? I love I love my husband. I love my kids. I love my in-laws, right? I love my team. You know, who loves me? I believe that all of them love me back, right? What about that make me loving? I'm just amazing. So they're loving me because I pour a lot of heart and soul into them too, right? And how does that make me feel? I feel very loved. And sometimes, you know, we just always ask, you know, our primary question. Like for me, a lot of time, I always wonder whether I provide enough to other people. And once in a while, you know, it make me feel like I'm not loved enough, or I'm not loving other people enough. But these are the questions that, you know, I ask myself all the time to make sure that I, you know, I am being loved. Troy, mommy is working. So again, you know, if you need to pause the video and just watch what is on the screen, and really, you know, just close your eyes, take a couple deep breaths, and really, you know, just think about those questions and come up with those answers. And if every morning you can just even do just one, right? A minimum of one, you know, your day will become so much better because you're ultimately, you know, asking some power question to yourself. And at night, you know, after you work hard, you know, you have gone through, you know, a lot of, you know, whatever challenges that you're going through, or whatever work that's related, or the kids, you know, what are the power questions you can ask yourself? You know, I think, you know, here is some of the good example. You know, what have I given today? In what ways have I a giver today? What did I learn today? How has today added to the quality of my life? How can I use today as an investment in my future? Right? I know that, you know, today I spoke with one of my team members. Her name is Arlene. And she told me that she have done 7 presentation to her clients, because most clients are at home. And I know that because she have done 7 practices and, you know, show love to 7, you know, nurses and doctors and clients that she has, show them that she cares. I believe that have, you know, made a huge investment in her future. And I know that, you know, she's feeling very proud of herself. And I know that, you know, her clients is feeling the love, right? That's our job, you know. What have I given today? You know, today I have given you the, you know, the power questions, because to be honest with you, I am not really a spotlight kind of person. I usually like to hide behind the cameras. However, because I know that everybody is in, you know, in fear, you know, not the usual self, right? We are all running into a lot of fear challenge, you know, because of this pandemic. So it really forces me to come out and speak the truth, and also speak some encouragement, because again, you know, all the medias, everything's going down. Somebody have to push it back up so that we can even it out. You know, I just can't help but to wanted to make sure that you are not one of them that, you know, sinking, you know, start to get locked down into, that room that you put yourself in, and then sooner or later you lock yourself away, right? You get shut down because of fear. There's nothing to fear. Remember, life happened for us, not to us. Everything has its own plan. You know, if you feel like you're really down, talk to somebody. However, make sure you pick your friends. Make sure that you pick somebody that will give you positive reinforcement, will give you the answer that you want to hear. And obviously make sure that you ask, again, good questions, because if you, again, just like what we put down right here, if you ask a lousy questions, you know, you're going to get a lousy answer, right? It's almost as like, a good question, right? Why do I suck? Because you suck. So don't ask that question. You want to ask, why am I great? Because I'm great. Right? You can be great in many, many ways. I mean, my mother always tell me, whether you're good or bad, it just really depends on the group of people that you select. What is the standard, right? But at the same time, don't be too hard on yourself, because again, in United States, if you live in United States right now that you're watching with me, you're the top 1% of the people. If you're watching with me on YouTube, you are in one of the country that have YouTube, have internet. So you're definitely in one of the better country, better life. So, you are awesome. You are great. So we need to count our blessing. And whenever we count our blessing, our life gets better. Okay? And there is some problem-solving questions. I know that there's going to be a lot of problems right now that you're dealing with. Me and my team and my family, we love to use the word challenges, because I believe that God is challenging me, and whenever there's a challenge, I'm gonna overcome it. That's just how humans react, right? Whenever there's a challenge, I will just overcome it. It's much more positive than using the word problem. Oh man, there's a problem, right? When you hear the word problem and challenge, they just have a very different attitude, I wanted to say, at least for me. So I always like to use, challenge instead of problems. And, there are going to be more times in our life that when we come out against with, these problems, right? The roadblock to our personal and our professional progress, right? The question is not whether you're going to have problems or not, but it's how you are going to deal with them when they come. To be honest with you, if you are living, and especially when you're growing, you're going to have problems. It's just the quality of the problem. When I first come to the United States, my problem is I couldn't even afford to spend $1. I'm sorry, I couldn't even afford to spend $5 on a McDonald's meal, because that was $20 in my country's money. So I went to a gas station and buy 2 loaves of bread for $1. That was my problem at that time. Right now, my problem has gone so much better. One of the problem that I have recently is we're trying to sell this $500,000 home, and then the client ran into some challenges, and at the end I pay out $3,000 just to get this deal closed. It's just, it's almost the same challenges, but if you're looking at my problem, the quality have changed. This is $1, this is $3,000. And I can feel the pain on that $1 more than right now the $3,000. But that also tells me that I have elevated my life. My problem hasn't been getting better. So appreciate those problems too. Realize that your problem is getting tougher and better quality because you are growing. The day that you're not going to have problem, chances is, you're already in the ground. You're not breathing anymore. That's why you don't have any problems. Because even if you just laying in bed, you're gonna have challenge, right? Do you need to turn on the light? What time are you gonna go to bed? There's just gonna be a lot of, challenges and problems if you are still breathing. So, just welcome the problems, making sure that, you just have fun with it, like a ping pong game, a tennis game, right? You just swipe it back, push it out, it's just part of life. And here are some of the better questions to help you effectively handle any changes in your life. what's great about this problem, right? Coronavirus happened, but what is great about this problem? How can this problem help me, right? What is not perfect yet? I have read this book, and it's so powerful for me. It said that when your kids are not doing great at certain thing, make sure you put the word yet in the back. Don't ever say that, oh no, you're just not good. No, you are just not good yet, because practice make progress, right? I mean, obviously the word is practice make perfect. And then now, I told my kids as practice make perfect progress. And then we learned from Tony that it's perfect practice make perfect progress. So it's pretty cool, right? I mean, again, we're increasing the quality of the statement that we have. And every time, my son actually don't know how to play piano a week ago. Unfortunately, because it's coronavirus, he's stuck at home. So he practiced because he got bored. And now he's really good. He's actually playing Ed Sheeran's That Perfect Sound, even though it's on one side. But he's so proud of himself. Why? Because he is practicing. At that moment, he wasn't good. It's just not yet. So, whenever you have a question about things, you just wanted to ask, are you good right now, or you're just not good yet? And then the next question is, what am I willing to do to make it the way I want it? What am I willing to do to make it the way I want it? Right? Again, it's a really good question. What are you willing to do? And again, even if the answer is, I'm not willing to do anything to get to the way I want it, then maybe you shouldn't want that, you should want that. But if you really want it, then, what are you willing to do to make it the way you want it? What am I willing to no longer do in order to make it the way I want it? What am I willing to no longer do in order to make it the way I want it? I remember Bill Gates and Warren Buffett actually have answered this question. How do you get successful? Focus. They both say the word focus, because I'm focused. But what does focus mean? They said that actually focus means to say no to everything else that does not matter to your goal. And what is that? A lot, nowadays with technology, there's a lot of things that we can get distracted. Maybe there's a speaker gig, maybe it's an errand that you need to run, maybe, you just decided to shop in the grocery store for another round, and you can say no to those, just be very focused, straightforward to do what you need to get done, right? So, what are you willing to no longer do in order to make it the way you want it? How can I enjoy the process while I do what is necessary to make it the way I want it? How can I enjoy the process while I do what is necessary to make it the way I want it? I think this is great because, again, personally, I am an overachiever. I have been growing since the day I stepped in United States. Well, actually, I grew before too. But I realized that I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop growing. I couldn't stop problem solving. It's almost like an addiction. Whenever I get to a plateau and there's no more problems to solve, I tend to look outside and see what else can I solve. I'm an overachiever. I always wanted to know, how far can I push my envelope? How far can I push myself? So I realized that I have to enjoy that process. I always tell people, I'm going to do this when I am not busy. And one day I realized, I have an epiphany. I am always busy. So I just have to find time, and I just have to make time. I just have to time block myself. So there's no way around it. But so since I know that is what I want, I started to really enjoy the process. I found a group of people that have very like-minded as I am. So every day, I'm talking with them, laughing with them, going through the challenge together. It is just so much fun for me. It's so fulfilled for me because that is what I love. I love impacting people, making people better. And I know that, just like what I think Zig Ziglar say, if you help other people successful, you'll be successful too. So all my goal is to help other people getting successful, and I will be successful too. And the fulfillment of people saying thank you to you is so huge. Like last Christmas, I got a card from Chad's wife Casey, and she just said, hey, thank you so much for helping us and growing Chad, and that just fills my heart. That is just what I really enjoy. Again, I don't expect it, but I always get that coming back. You know, Arlene did the same thing, you know, Monique did the same thing. I mean, I have a lot of people that are saying that to me, and I realize that that is what I enjoy doing the process. Again, I don't expect them to tell me that, but that's what I enjoy. I enjoy seeing people grow. I enjoy seeing people get better. And right now I'm in the business to get people better, to get into a home, to be a better realtor, you know, to be entrepreneurial, stay-at-home mom, right? I just turned my neighbor to become an entrepreneur. She's actually a stager now because she loved decorating. I was like, why not? Why can't you start a business? Well, Phyllis, da 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 da. I said, you can do it. It's easy. Just a website, this, that, and I can help you with everything else. She's like, really? I said, yes. And now I can see movers coming to, you know, our neighbor's yard all the time, moving things in and out. And now she has extra money to go and eat dinner with her husband with her money. So she feels so proud. And that is what I enjoy. So question for you is, what do you enjoy? What do you enjoy doing the process called life that you can, you know, you can do to make it the way you wanted it? You know, always ask yourself the question, if money is not an issue, you know, what do you want to do, right? If money is not an issue for me, you know, I wanted to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. And right now I'm going towards that. And I believe that I technically already have that, you know, and, but again, I'm challenging even more, you know, how can I do that for other people? You know, how can I get other people to not have to lock into the 9-to-5, not lock into whatever traditional life that they have, and have this untraditional life? You know, if I decided I want to go back home to Singapore, you know, twice a year, I could. And I can go home for, you know, a month each. And every month we're going for educational courses. If I can do it, you can do it too. Remember, when I first come to the United States, I couldn't even afford to spend more than $1 on meals. Now I can. So can you. And that's it for our slide. And again, this is just, you know, a pick you up. I hope that, you know, this will be really helpful. Again, we are here for you. I am here for you. If you need anything, just let us know. And don't forget, you know, click the button below and you can get this slide. So in that way you can serve as a reminder for you. Again, if you ever need a pick me up, you know, just click on the YouTube channel and we will have more and more content coming through to help you through this tough time, to help you through the career. Talk to you soon, and Phyllis is out.